Hi guys, I wanted to jump headfirst into this. I'm very eager to address this with you guys. So let's get into our budgeting. Okay, guys, here it is, our monthly budget. All right, so now you see that we have our income. Income is super important to put because at the end, we want to be able to subtract what we're bringing in and what's going out so that we can see how much we have left over every month. So the most important part we have to put is the income. The income is driving everything. So your wages, that's basically from your job. This is the budgeting side where you're basically guessing, and this is the actual side. So if you are working every week and your schedule changes and your pay changes, then just basically see what the average is and put that in. For the interest income, that comes from basically if you have a savings account or something earning interest. For assistance, I put assistance here because you may be receiving assistance. You may be receiving cash assistance from the government, SSI, that counts. So you need to put that. So if you're receiving cash assistance and SSI, you need to put those in different rows. So this way you can identify your sources of income and that, this is how much comes from this place. Also, I put Section 8 here, or it doesn't necessarily have to be Section 8. It can just be any other source that is paying a portion of your rent. And even though that money doesn't go in your hand, for the most part, from what I know, it goes straight to your landlord, it's still an income. For people who are on government assistance, the whole point is for us to move off, and we're going to need to pinpoint how much money we're going to need to bring in so that we can still survive once we're off. And then we want to make more than that, of course. So put down Section 8. Anything that is a plus, you're going to put that down in your income. Oh, if you have a side hustle, then definitely put that down as income. It all matters. Every dollar counts and can get us out and help us better our situation. So, as far as home expenses, there are fixed expenses, meaning they don't change for the most part or stray too far from a certain number. So, rent for the most part doesn't change. If you're staying with someone, you know, discuss with them a set pay if you haven't already, because you really need to know what you're working with every month. As far as the electricity and gas, definitely put that down. If you're receiving assistance, then you still want to put this down, and here's why. You're going to start being responsible for that. So, we still need to put that down because that's going to be an area that we're going to pinpoint to try to see if we can get that lower to keep more money in our pockets. So, as far as a home, you may be renting a home. Whatever you're responsible for in that home, definitely put down the cost of it. Now, phone, cable, internet is normally one package, or you can have just a cable and the phone. However, you have it, definitely put that down as well. So, daily living, groceries. So, like I said, even if you're receiving food stamps, we want to put how much you're spending of it. If you're spending all of it, fine. Um, if you spending some, sell some, fine. So just put what you're spending, okay? So first we want to acknowledge that we're not going to stay on assistance if you are on assistance, and you're going to be responsible for this. So we want to get this to a more manageable, realistic number. As far as personal supplies, that would be like pads or tissue, things like that. Eating out, definitely count that. Salon, getting your hair done, count that. As far as the children, every third month you may have to pick up some extra clothes. Transportation, definitely if you have a car, you have to put repairs. It shouldn't be hopefully every month, but put that in there. As far as gas, you should include that as well. Just keep those receipts. Other fixed expenses could be auto insurance every month. Another fixed expense can be, where is it? Because we have charities, pets, entertainment. Let's say you have a subscription to Netflix. That's $9.99 every month. Business expense, we're not there yet, guys, but we will be. And credit cards. So it can be considered a fixed expense if you're not paying off your full balance every month and you know you're paying your minimum balance. We want to not do that. But also other loans, student loan, put how much you owe and how much you're paying. And far as savings, you have to pay yourself first. But if we come to the conclusion that after all the main bills are paid, there's no money left over to do anything, let alone save, then that means we need to definitely immediately work on bringing in more money. Because if we don't have anything left over at the end of the month, how can we reinvest? How can we flip the money? So that's basically what a budget is. You're writing down what you're spending your money on in every area of your life. They even have, let me see here, miscellaneous for the whoopsies of the bank fees, which we want to avoid. But you needed to pick up something this month and you didn't calculate that in. Go ahead and put that in. You needed to get something for the car, and we're not going to put that as a fixed expense for the car because it's not, but the light went out, or something to that effect. So it's always good to have a miscellaneous put to the side stash and a savings. I think what most people make a mistake with doing is looking at the savings like it's a emergency stash, which I'm not saying that it's not, but we're not saving it if we're looking at it as something to eventually spend. We need to have two different sections. This is the miscellaneous, this is the savings. And when you don't touch your savings and you have a miscellaneous stashed up, you can actually make money off of your savings by putting it into a CD where you don't touch it and they give you high interest. You have to find a good bank for that. We'll discuss that later. And this way, you made money off your savings because you weren't touching it. You didn't confuse it with the miscellaneous that you may need it. That was actually something you saved. You let the bank hold it and they paid you for that. So don't confuse the miscellaneous with the savings. It's in two totally different spots, which is a reason why I got this certain template just to show you that point. So here it is, guys. What it looks like to actually budget. What we will be doing is going over our budget more in depth. Once you have down the realistic numbers, what we want to do is analyze each area. And we want to start off with how can we save in these areas? How can we save on grocery? I'll give you some resources for that. How can we save on our gas and electric? I'll give you some resources and some suggestions. How can we save on our rent? Move. Because most landlords are not willing to come down. But, seriously looking at, a cell phone bill. How can do you really need that plan? I've bought phones where you had to get the higher plan. I could have got another phone, but I wanted that phone. And that phone, you had to get a certain plan, which was like an extra $25. Did I really need it? No, I just wanted that phone, and then it was tied to that plan. So, learning how to wait. You could get the phone later. You just need to make more money now. Uh, like I said, groceries, there's an actual article that says Americans are spending 70% too much in three areas, and one of those areas are grocery. So we're going to be looking at every single part of this to see how we can cut down, where we could cut down on expenses. And now, like I said, if you come out of this and you are in the red, you have no money saved, you just don't even know how you're making it, then we definitely need to look at our income and see what areas we can put to the side, so to speak. Can we not do this today so we can get more money tomorrow? Um, and believe it or not, there has been times where I've totally ignored something because I knew I needed to make the money today and then I could pay that off and some. So we'll discuss that as well. But here is the budgeting outline. I will definitely leave this link in the description box. If you are unable to print this out or you don't have access to a laptop or a desktop or a tablet, then you can write this down. Look at this, just anything that you have to pay. anything that comes up. And it's good to have a tangible copy of it because you can use it on whim and your phone doesn't necessarily have to be charged, and nothing has to be charged in order for you to write this down real quick. So it's good to have a tangible copy with you, a copy that you could touch, feel, and write on. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.